Tyler Perry gonna always play a whack man.
Oh yeah. Welcome to another episode of the Presidential Executive Podcast. What's going on, y'all? This your boy JB. This is my homie and brother, and over here, Rag.
What it do?
What it do, y'all? And I didn't say it on the other ones, but please share, subscribe this video, hit the like button, do all of that. And also, for those that didn't know, we're on all podcast platforms. That's including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and Stitcher. What it do, Rack?
Man, not too much, man. Slow motion.
Everything good. And also, I want to put out there that we are on, make sure I'm saying it right, Venmo.
Yep.
We're on Venmo now. So look, for those that want to support, you want to, put in, help us make, create more content or whatnot. I'm gonna put it down on the screen. It's everything, all our vitals is ThePrezEx. So that's on Venmo too. So ThePrezEx, you can go there, you can donate, you can do all that stuff. So,
and that information will be at the bottom of the screen. So, for those of y'all who we know sometimes we don't listen very well, but it'll be there for you just in case.
Yeah. So if you want to support, please feel free. It's no small or minimum amount that we're looking for. Anything that you put in your heart that you want to put out and support and give, Venmo. We'll start doing other stuff later, like we talked about Patreon before,
right.
PayPal, and even Cash App. 'Cause I know that's convenient for a lot of folks too. But we're gonna start off now with the Venmo account. So y'all check that out. So we're recording this on Sunday, and I just put it out there, Rag. I don't know if you saw it. My Cowboys got trashed. We got stomped, and I don't want to spend any time because actually I wanted to do like on the Men in Black. I just want to do one of those.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You snap and just like you forget about this. So
my team ain't doing too much better. So,
but y'all still got a shot though. Y'all still got a shot. Last time we looked, it was 31-14.
So it was third. They just kicked the field goal, 31-17. But it ain't nothing but 4 minutes left. Yeah. Same score. And at this point, hopefully we can finish it 12-5 or 11-6.
Yeah, I already know.
I hope.
And shout out to my number one Cowboy head out there, T-Dub. And people know what I'm talking about. With the C-Month, graduated class of 99. We'll be going back and forth on Sundays. He's an Eagles fan, and he just be poking fun. Like he admits that he's more invested in us than his own team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
y'all division always like that though.
Yeah. So shout out to that. And we got a lot, man. So I kind of want to go and get into this, Rag. First, man, this, Aaron Rodgers kind of versus Kyrie thing with basically, we could come at it from a couple different angles, but we know what happened to Kyrie. You know what I mean? Like we know all the people on sports, non-sports media was bashing him. Especially Stephen A. kind of got personal with Kyrie.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Aaron Rodgers, what he did was even more egregious than what Kyrie did. He pretty much lied to, I guess, the public. He said he was immunized,
right.
Which, I get it, but he kind of went into a rundown kind of what he kind of meant, that he's basically kind of immunizing himself, not necessarily taking the jab, but, he pretty much misled the people. And your boy, because me and Rag, we always had a running thing. We was talking about we kind of skipping Stephen A. and he was kind of Stephen A. Yeah, that's your boy on this tip.
Ever since my guy done been on there, I'm more like my guy, Uncle Shay Shay now.
Uncle Shay Shay? Okay.
Yeah, I'm more like Uncle Shay Shay now.
Uncle Shay, okay. So they say he more like Uncle Shay now, but this your boy now. I ain't gonna lie. Like remember my country cousin he kind of already put it out there with, you know, Mama's cooking.
Yeah, you gotta go on and put it.
You know, I'm gonna put it down there.
We hadn't had a Kwame sighting.
I'm gonna put it down there because Kwame, he was totally on point on this for a while because his thing was always Stephen A. always had more smoke for, you know, black athletes or for the black, you know, people more than, you know, the counterparts or your white athlete. And pretty much maybe I could put it up here, but if you haven't seen it, he got into the thing about with Aaron Rodgers and he was just calm. You know, he was just like, he's a liar and I think he should be suspended. That's it. You know what I mean? And so, you know, like, where is that same energy? What we saying here? Keep that same energy.
Right, exactly.
You know, so where is that same energy when it comes to, you know, Aaron Rodgers when we come to Kyrie? But we know this. We know, of course, you know, pretty much why. So
yeah, I mean, and again, while I don't disagree with, like, I don't necessarily have an issue with Aaron Rodgers per se, because at the end of the day, like, that's your business. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know,
I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, now for the. And maybe he was intentionally deceptive because he knew, you know, the blowback and you're seeing, you know, like what Kyrie is going through. And then the crazy thing with that is that, like, that doesn't even apply to the whole NBA. It's just because he lives in New York and because per the state, you got to do that. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because there's a lot of guys in the NBA that's not. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're only talking about Kyrie because he lives in New York and that's a part of the thing and he may not play.
I know 4 off top personally. I mean, in the NBA at least.
Right. Yeah. So, but we know that Rodgers is not getting the blowback, and unfortunately, it's because he does have a complexion for the protection, as the late great Paul Mooney would say. Right. But you know, again, to your point, I'm not surprised by, you know, Stephen A. And on the one hand, I mean, he's a legend, he's a pioneer, he's done things. Probably has been more sympathetic and loving and shown more support for somebody like AI than anybody.
Oh yeah, that was his, that was his boy.
That's like they look at each other. They got a big brother little brother relationship. So on the one hand, you got stuff like that, you know, him supporting Kaepernick, stuff like that. But then on the other hand, you got other times where he's like pandering. You know,
very much so. The people he like,
right,
you know,
exactly.
He has a relationship with Carmelo. Right. He never says anything kind of cross. He said maybe one time with Carmelo, but other than that, he always kind of tread lightly. Right. And then he'll go in on KD. Yeah. Because him and him don't kind of like each other.
They don't like each other, right.
You know, so, but I want to say a couple things on Aaron Rodgers. He basically, well, I just kind of found that out too. Like, the reason he didn't want to get the jab is because he's actually allergic to one of the ingredients in the vac. You know what I mean? So, I don't think that's kind of being put out there. Like, so that's kind of that's a reasonable, you know, that you're allergic to something that's, you know, actually other than the other stuff that we can possibly get into. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought that was, you know, very interesting. I thought Stephen A. needed to be, but I did want to bring up Jay Williams. He was Jay Will used to be, you know, play with the Bulls back in the day.
The joint with Max and Keyshawn.
Yeah, he was actually on First Take, I believe on last Friday or Thursday or something, and he surprisingly called him out. He called Stephen A. out. He was like, you know, look, remember this happened. You know, where was that same vitriol? Where's that same energy? And you know, Stephen A. he talked his way out of it. Was basically
right. Oh yeah, he gonna do that now.
Yeah, because I'm not across from you over here on the other side. I was with somebody else that was you know, I agree with or whatever. So it was a BS explanation. But Stephen A. being the talking head that he is, he made it, you know, sound for people that don't know the BS flag that it sound okay. You know what I mean?
And for those of y'all watching, because I know y'all heard JB use the word vitriol. And so that word means cruel and bitter criticism. Okay. So y'all just learned something. Professor JB just gave you a word to add to your vocabulary.
Man.
So vitriol means cruel and bitter criticism.
And that's the English major that can actually, you know, break it down. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I like, you know, I don't have a problem with Aaron, you know, as far as his stance or whatever like that. But
yeah, he should have gotten the same amount of criticism. Yeah, I agree with that
to a degree. Now, your Uncle Shay Shay, he kind of went in on him a little bit a day or two ago on his show with Skip and them. Like he went in more than I think anybody that I necessarily heard. So shout out to Unc. You know what I'm saying, Shay Shay. Uncle Shay Shay that actually, did that on that tip, but everybody else, you know what I'm saying, crickets, and y'all get that mama's cooking as well. You know what I mean?
And he would be a legendary, I mean, just as far as guests go, like, he would be a legendary guest.
He'd be
like that. That would just be straight fun. It doesn't matter what we talk about. Like, I just believe that would be straight fun.
Yeah, they'll be top 5.
He would be one of my dream podcast guests. Like somebody that's a celebrity.
Yeah.
That we had. Like,
speaking of guests, me and Rad talked about this a couple of days ago. We officially got the equipment, necessary to get the stuff that's needed to have guests. So it's coming real soon, y'all. We're gonna have a little setup. Can have at least 4. Add 2 if potentially.
So we can have 2 guests at a time.
We can have 2 guests at a time if need be. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So that's speaking of guests, that's gonna be coming soon. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for that. So want to keep going now. This next one, this may be more so near dear to your heart because this is one of your favorite players of all time. Trippin' Pippen is what I like to call him.
Don't do it.
Trippin' Pippen, come on. Now, Scottie Pippen, y'all, he is one of the 50 greatest basketball players ever.
And 75.
And 75. Probably one of the top 5 defensive players ever. He had a lot to say about the GOAT, Michael Jordan, because his new book is coming out. I think we talked about this maybe in the first season, Unguarded. Mm-hmm. I think he was first kind of trying to come out with that, and he had a lot to say about Mike on this. This is just a little snippet of kind of what he said. He said in referring to The Last Dance, the documentary with Michael Jordan, he said each episode was the same. Michael on the pedestal, his teammates secondary, smaller. The message no different from when he referred to us back then as his supporting cast. They glorified Michael Jordan while not giving nearly enough praise to me and my proud teammates. Michael deserved a large portion of the blame. The producers had granted him editorial control of the final project. But it was his project though, right? Okay, but let me finish. The doc couldn't have been released otherwise. He was leading the man and the director. And he said, I think he said Michael got paid $10 million and him and his teammates didn't get anything from it. So I'm just, what you say, Rag?
I mean, now if we, it's 2 ways you can look at this. Like on the one hand, it can look like sour grapes, like you're bitter, you're not getting your props.
Definitely,
that's what it looks like to me. You're neglected. On the other hand, and I have to keep remind people, like a few years ago, he came out. He was on one of the sports shows, and he was saying that when LeBron was in Miami, he was saying LeBron had the potential to be better than Michael Jordan. And people, that's blasphemous, Stephen. Blasphemous. But still, you saw like, Jordan and Pippen still thick as thieves. In spite of that. Don't get it twisted. I wouldn't be surprised. And you heard it here first, just like my documentary, The Last Son, coming out, the Jimmy Butler story as being Michael Jordan's son. Don't be surprised if this is like Jay-Z and Beyonce when she put out Lemonade and everybody was talking about Becky with the good hair. It's over with. And then it's like, wait, it was Jay-Z's idea.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all these women talking about single ladies and everything, and she's still married to her husband.
Yeah.
Everybody. Now, don't get me wrong, because what it's going to do is you might not, but most people are going to buy the book. They're going to do it on the audio. They're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
You're about to make this man a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you keep in mind that everybody they've asked about it, they said, Tony, did you hear what he said in his book? Like, Tony's like, I don't want to talk about it no more.
Right.
So like everybody's kind of so I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, okay, you know what, we got you. You know what, don't cross certain lines, but you can get the stuff that people are kind of saying in the background anyway. Like, oh man, I'm sure Pippen feels some type of way about the documentary. Go touch on all of that. But I wouldn't be surprised if MJ is behind the scenes bankrupt and they're laughing, like that picture with them laughing on the bench in the meme. It's like, they 73-9 and didn't win the championship. Like all them pictures with them laughing. I believe that it definitely was some tension there, but at the same time, I also believe that they had a genuine brotherhood. Okay. I'm not gonna say they're friends per se, but they're in brothers fight. You know what I'm saying? Brothers get into it.
So in your view, you thinking maybe Mike is in on it? Like, you know, I'm help my bro out.
Right. I'm gonna help him. You know what? I know you didn't get your props the way you should have. I'm finna help you get your bag. I really think that he is. Cause you got to remember now, Mike ain't a great GM.
Yeah,
he's not a great.
He looking better now because of LaMelo.
Yeah. With him and Bridges.
Yeah.
But he's a phenomenal businessman. He's an amazing businessman.
That's true.
And he never missed out on the opportunity. Like, who heard of Rayovac? You know what I'm saying? Like, that man got millions of dollars off of Rayovac, and people was buying them. What's Rayovac? The batteries, the rechargeable batteries.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And they don't sell like Energizer or Duracell, but there's people who still like. I be place sometimes like, oh, you use Rayovac, like, dang.
Right.
You know, McDonald's, Gatorade, Coca-Cola. Like, he was ballpark. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? Hanes? The underwear?
Hanes, yeah.
Like, nobody was studying, like, Fruit of the Loom was the draws.
That was my teenage draws.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Fruit of the Loom was the draws, but then MJ came with the Hanes, and it's like, man, I got to get the Hanes because MJ wear the Hanes. He's a phenomenal business. He's the only Nike athlete who has his own, like Jordan is his own thing.
Yeah.
And think about it, they had Bo Jackson, they had Barkley, they had Griffey, they had Dion.
Gretchen.
Who you could say, you could say these guys were in their sports as big. Like, you can't say Dion wasn't the MJ of football.
Yeah.
But ain't no Dion line, ain't no prime time, shoe.
Right.
It's a Jordan.
Right.
Even so to the point that you got like the team Jordan shoes.
Okay.
And so I don't mean to get off of what we're talking about, but I'm looking at it from the business standpoint. And I commented on our boy, shout out to DJ Iceman, because he posted some stuff, to one of the goats of this young goats of this podcast game with the Mo Kicks and Bruce Lee.
And he gonna be one of the guests too. We gonna get him
we got to get him on there. But
this would be an interesting subject right here to talk about.
But I just believe that they are in, because again, MJ has been surprisingly silent on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now again.
Indirectly, like I think Will Bunn and
they have said some stuff.
They've said some stuff, I guess, because they talked to him. But that's interesting. I don't think I haven't heard that take from it. Now, that's an interesting take too, because you're a huge Pippen fan as well.
But I'm a huge Jordan fan as well.
You are? Okay.
So it's not just, now I'm not a Jordan stan where it's like he can't do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? He boo-boo lemon water and sweetness. Like, I don't believe that.
I'm close to being a stan though.
I rock with him tough though. Like, in my argument about the GOAT debate, like, it's not even close. Yeah. When you talk about that. But at the same time, I appreciate my whole team. Yeah. And so I don't rock for Steve Kerr like that, but that's because outside of the shooting, right. You know what I'm saying? But like, cool coach, best European player ever, in my opinion.
Ron Harper.
Definitely Ron Harper, Rodman, Grant. I rock for my squad. But like I said, I really believe that they are in on it. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting.
And which is why everybody has been quiet, because now, and then it's a hot topic.
Yeah.
So please believe when that book come out, it's going to be a New York Times bestseller.
Yeah.
Because people are going to want to hear what he has to say about a bunch of stuff. And I wouldn't be surprised if they got stock in it and all of them going to be laughing to the bank. That's their 7th championship. That's their 7th ring. Please believe it.
Okay. So you heard it here. Like, if that is the case, he's selling that joint.
Right. And keep in mind, and I wouldn't be surprised if next year or 2 years from now, it's like you see a picture or some headline like, oh, the Bulls squashed that. But no, it's been squashed.
Yeah.
It's been squashed. Ooh. That was just, and again, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a launching pad for others like, oh, I'm going to write my book too. You know what I'm saying? And so so just to prove their legendary status once again, because the documentary came out. Well, no, that was the 7th championship. The documentary came out, and it's like, hey, if it's any debate, we still that squad. It's not been anybody as polarizing as us. This book finna come out. That's gonna be championship number 8, because it's like, hey, we still them boys. We still that squad. You know what I'm saying? Y'all still gonna talk about us, unlike any other team. And then if Kerr or Kukoc or somebody else come out with something, Rodman come out with something, like that championship number 9 and 10, like, we still gonna be in y'all mouth at the end of the day.
I'm gonna tack on to that, because that's interesting, because I haven't even thought about on that perspective on that. See, that's a presidential perspective on that. You know what I mean? Because honestly, because I'm thinking, because the stuff that he's actually said is kind of strange, because you're thinking something is wrong with him mentally, because I'm like, bro, like, you agreed to do the documentary. Exactly. You agreed to say, you know, why you didn't want to get off the bench and all this stuff. So it's like, now you want to come back now and be like, you know, you're doing. I'm like, but you know how this business works. So
and he was in the media as well.
Yeah.
And so it's like, to me, the timing just seems like all of this salacious stuff comes out when I got my book coming out. So you got to have, you know, the talking points. You got to have the T moments.
So this is maybe to get Scottie in that New York Times bestseller list.
And mark my words, we're going to track it. But again, if it is a New York Times bestseller, we said you heard it here first. Okay. And JB just coined something new, the presidential perspective.
Yes.
And you know this.
You know what I'm saying? Just like when if you remember the last episode, we talked about the executive mindset and certain instances when certain decisions are made, we're going to see as an executive how you would handle things. For true. Sometimes when you have a deep perspective, you know you're going to get that presidential perspective.
Yes, sir. Oh, let's do that. Okay. And let's go over to this next one real quick now. This may be a little funny. It's about a guy, man, a money bag. You know, money bag.
We gave him a new nickname last week.
That was Empty Shelves. The Empty Shelf Joe.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
When they were talking about with the shortages with the food, which is kind of a real thing, bro. Like, I don't know if you've been to the grocery stores. Like, stuff is like scarce out here. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I got kids, so, you know, we be at the store a lot. So it's very interesting about that, y'all. But Moneybag said Biden is considering $450K each payments to illegal immigrants' families separated at the border. Now,
in total or for individuals?
Individual each. So we talking, if it's 3 in the family that were in this predicament with illegal immigrants' families separated at the border, there'll be $450K each. Bro, like.
So you basically talking about like what, 1.3 million a family?
If, depending on how much, you know what I'm saying, they got in there. So it says this. It says the Biden administration is considering paying illegal immigrant families who were separated at the border under former President Donald Trump's policies up to $450,000 each. The illegal immigrants filed a lawsuit claiming the federal government detention resulted in major psychological trauma. Most of the families were made up of one parent and a child who could receive up around $1 million in payouts, though the amount could vary by family depending on the circumstances. Now, this whole thing is crazy to me, Rad, because when I see illegal immigrants filing lawsuits talking about major psychological trauma, haven't we been through some type of trauma over, not even just over the last 30, 40 years? Like, we're talking, you know what I'm saying, hundreds.
Oh, yeah, that was have you gotten a chance to see that Dave Chappelle special on Netflix, The Closer?
The new one? Yeah.
And so you remember how he was like, the transgender person was like, we've been dealing with this for decades. And he said he was looking at the two, gay black dudes with her and was like, is it something y'all want to tell? Like, decades? Oh, decades? Like, is it something you want to say? And it's like, just in this country, just in the history of, and I don't mean America from 1776. I mean, when people first landed in Jamestown in the 1600s. Mm-hmm. Like, going all the way back to then, and then even further. If you, like, they only talk about certain stuff. Mm-hmm. It was explorers and people coming over here settling in the 1500s.
Right.
We've been second-class citizens since the 1500s. Mm-hmm. You know, Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1490. So, like, back then, when, you know, that genocide happened, we were second-class then.
See, and
man,
this is the crazy part. Like, for even this to be considered, to me, is just blasphemy, because it's like you talking $450K each that you're trying to do a whole nother group of people that necessarily didn't build the country.
I just need 300 to get my hair straight for the weekend.
300.
Hey, you'd be surprised. Hey, look, like first of all, their credit finna be A1 because my student loans ain't that much. So
yeah.
That's finna be out. You know what I'm saying? And then you talking about, man, some going into the trust fund, that good IRA.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let that stuff build up.
Yeah. And this is also what it says in here too. It says the Biden administration could end up paying illegal immigrant families over $1 billion in settlements. Yeah. $1 billion in settlements potentially.
And when we supposed to get, how many billion was supposed to go to HBCUs?
It's supposed to have been a lot of, I think he put it down like to 2 or something. To 2, I think, or what Moneybag did. It was whatever. It was a high number. I think he went down to maybe 1 or 2 million or something.
Right.
So.
Well, it's good that a lot of us stayed black and voted for him.
Message.
Ooh, he needs some of Mama's cooking too. You know what I'm saying? He needs some of Mama's cooking seriously.
You know what? As much as I was hard on him, he would be a good. You know what I'm saying? We need to make a list of dream celebrity podcast guests.
So you finally on my side of my country cousin, man.
No, I'm just saying I think he would be a good guest. No, I'm saying I don't agree with everything he say, but he keeps it righteous.
He keep it righteous.
He believes, he stands by, and he believes what he said. Now we can agree, or rather, we can agree that we disagree. You know, I don't like the whole agree to disagree because people don't understand the verbiage when you say that.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to disagree with you. You know, but I understand that we got 2 different perspectives.
Right.
So we can agree that we are not in agreement, you know, for certain things. But no, he would be a good one. And I would love to hear what Kwame has to say.
Yeah.
I would love for us to have a big pot, you know, of Mama's cooking. Hear what he has to say.
That would be interesting, man. But Moneybag, y'all, this is exposure season, y'all. Again, so it's time to open our eyes to kind of see what's going on, because if they're considering this for illegal immigrants from a border, and people, you know, have been asking or trying to even get people to consider reparations, not even to put it into law or something, but just even to have a nice article in Yahoo or even on CNN be like, oh, the president is considering, you know, to give black people, you know, reparations, which could be up to $350,000, you know, per person, you know what I'm saying, in dealing with, you know, or something like that. And we haven't heard anything, but we're hearing about more so illegal immigrants, which tells you, you know what I'm saying, that they don't care about us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I put either side necessarily don't care about us, but this side specifically, in my view, is, you know, ahead of the game in that, because they try to get us on 2 sides. They try to act like, you know what I'm saying, we are, you know, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Then on the other side, it's like, you know what I'm saying, you under the table trying to, you know, mess us up. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I got, you know, a special place down in my heart that I don't like at all about the liberal side, man, about the Dems. So let me do that. So let's go to this next one, man. Our boy Ice Cube. Yeah. Ice Cube. I don't know if you heard about this, but he's he took himself off the movie. Nobody can take Ice Cube off a movie. The $9 million movie. Yeah, $9 million film for refusing to get the jab. You know, says actor and rapper Ice Cube is apparently so adamant about not getting the jab that he's willing to lose $9 million. But in reality, what's $9 million to Ice Cube
right
at this point in time? You know what I'm saying?
As Lil Wayne would say, "What's a goon to a goblin?" Exactly.
So he left. It's a comedy movie. It was called Oh Hell No. You know, he left that. And I heard this wasn't even his first movie that he's actually left because of the jab, you know. So just want to kind of put that out there so people can actually know and see that there are actually people that think like us, you know what I'm saying, on this particular issue, and that, you know, it's getting higher and higher up to where I think is, you know, it's commendable, you know, in my view that.
And I wouldn't even say think like us.
Okay.
I would say that they think with their own mind.
Okay, that too. Okay.
I think that as we so eloquently put it, they have an executive mindset when it comes to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, And as we've always said, don't do it because we say it.
Right.
Do your own research, study, look at both sides of the coin, based on your own health, based on your own family history, based on your research, based on your faith. Make your decision based off that and stand by. Because we've said, if at the end of the day, you do your research, you do your due diligence, and that's what you want to do that.
Right. Informed consent.
You see what I'm saying? Right. Like, but at the same time, you know, don't bash me, because again, everybody doesn't have the same faith that we do, but at the same time, they don't trust it.
Right.
But they're on their elderberries, they're on their vitamin C and vitamin D.
Yeah.
They're on their getting the proper rest. Yeah. You know, they're exercising. They're cutting certain foods out. They're doing the natural stuff.
Trying to get enough sleep.
Right, exactly. Like they're doing the natural stuff to boost their immune system, because they don't want to suffer from the kooky pack.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They have to get the jab.
Yeah.
And then you have others who, you know, like us, we're doing the things to boost our natural immune system, but then we have the faith component.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I had a song years ago, you know, we won't bow down. Like, this ain't no different than when Nebuchadnezzar told everybody, y'all gonna have to bow down to this gold statue if you want to live. And them folks basically was just like, and their mindset was, I believe that God is gonna deliver me, but even if he doesn't, I'm not bowing. And they weren't questioning whether or not God was gonna deliver them. They were saying, me believing is not based on whether or not I get delivered. I'm gonna believe regardless.
Right.
But go ahead.
I thought it was another interesting thing on that, because I actually looked at that whole story in Daniel. This was maybe a couple of weeks ago, and just looking at it, like, I never thought about this. Maybe you have before, but you know, they weren't the only Jews in that area. You know, those are only ones that he, you know, God actually highlighted, you know, within that. So you can just think it was a number of other Jews that had the same belief system that they did, but you know, it was just like, bro, it ain't that serious. In my heart, you know, I ain't bound down, but just to save my life, to save, you know, for me not getting this fire, I'm gonna do what I do. But God know I ain't really mean it. I'm just trying to, you know, save what I, you know, whatever I got to do. So, but that was interesting. You brought that up, because I looked at that specifically.
And then they were three dudes. If you look at them, and it wasn't just in that instance, it was also in the instance of them not eating foods that wasn't allowed according to their diet. And let's not get it twisted. They didn't fast. Fasting means you don't eat or drink. Yeah. That was not a fast what they did. Fast that was not a fast what they did. They just chose not to eat certain foods. Yeah. But again, it was the similar thing. And the guy even said, like, y'all trying to get me killed. If y'all don't eat what everybody else eat, y'all trying to get me killed. And they said, no, give us this, but we can eat this. Give us this. Yeah. And we are going to be just as good as them. Yeah. Even more so, because they told them to compare. Right. And they said, like, you know, and it's no different than somebody saying, look, you know, I can't take this because I have an allergy. I can't take this because it goes against my personal belief. I can't take this because it goes against my religious belief. But I'm gonna take my vitamins. What Hogan say, take your vitamins and say your prayers, brother. They gonna do that. Yeah. And I'm gonna be good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And stand on that. And so it's no different than that. Like, we're living in that same time period. Yeah. You know. See, we kindred on that, because I've never talked to you about this as far as that, you know, that analogy or that perspective, you know, when it comes to the word, but you know, I've talked to other people in that regard. It's like this, I think these are that Daniel time, you know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, the given situation, it's like, it's like when you believe as strongly as that, it's not about, oh, you can just go ahead and do it. But no, it's what does your conviction say? What does Holy Spirit say inside of you? Right. You know, what you need to do. That's the same as that word that God gave them three Hebrew boys during that time. You know what I'm saying? To me, you know, or even more so, because, you know, we got them living inside of us. So, but yeah, man, I thought that's real cool that you actually brought that up, because I pretty much feel the same way in that regard, and talking about believing that the times that we're living in, as far as that Bible analogy, talking about those three dudes, man. So, yeah, another presidential perspective over here, y'all.
You know what I'm saying? So let's keep on going here, man. I think we're doing good, man. I think we're making
and
good progress.
We're rolling through these topics,
which is good. I think getting good enough now.
Brought to you by the good people at Pfizer.
Pfizer. I know, right? Bam. Hey, what a check. Oh,
no, right?
What we say?
You know, it's they don't want to give us a tree.
We said 3?
They don't want to give us a tree.
It'd be a trillion each, though, right?
They don't. Nigga. If they
a trillion each, not just a.
But I'm saying, but if they gave us 1 and we had to split it 500 billion a piece,
okay, yeah, I would be cool.
They ain't finna do that. They won't even give us the 300,000, like I said, so we can have our hair straight for the weekend.
Yeah,
and we both got the good hair. We can get straight for the weekend.
I need to put you. I may got an extra honest Amish soap. I'm making. You know, if you want something.
Oh yeah, no. You know I need it. That's the dro.
Yeah.
That's the droski.
I may have some extra for you. So, but that wasn't the plug. Now, if y'all
you don't want it. Yeah, that was what we used.
Yeah. So, do that. But this is another shout out actually, because I just want to, other than actually talking about the cookie pack and stuff like that, I want to, put out there of articles that people are actually, everybody doesn't think the same. Because you look at the mass media and what you see on CNN and Fox News, you pretty much is one thought. You thinking everybody is going this direction and stuff like that. So this next one.
Is that the clip you got?
No. That'd be later.
My bad. I didn't mean to jump ahead. That's
coming up soon. So, but a judge bars the Biden administration from firing unvaxxed
jabbed people.
Yeah, unjabbed employees with pending religious exemptions. Now, this particular one was in I think D.C. So a judge, stopped. The Biden administration from firing those that are unjabbed with pending religious exemptions, which, this is actually big. And actually, this judge is actually in D.C., so it's right, near and dear, to the White House. And so want to give a shout out on that because, people may not see the other side. You know what I'm saying? That people are actually what you said, free thinkers or independent thinkers.
You think with your own mind.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. So that was interesting on that. And actually, another one too on that was the U.S. appeals. The U.S. appeals court freezes the Biden mandate for the 100 plus employees for the jab and for the testing for the businesses. And so that's another big thing too, because it's a U.S. Supreme Court or federal court that's actually putting a freeze on. Just recently, Biden put out a mandate for businesses that were at least 100 employees or more mandated for the jab. So this is another thing to put out there that you can actually see that there are other people that not only, think like us on this tip, but they're doing their own research. They have, informed consent, what I'm saying, on this stuff. So, salute to all the people that are involved. And I don't know if you've been seeing too, people have been, doing protests and doing all this stuff in support of, having freedom when it comes to the jab and stuff of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So there are people out there, but they're not really being pushed out there by the main news that you probably are, accustomed to.
Yeah, they ain't gonna say nothing about that.
Nah, they ain't gonna say nothing about that. So, and keep going down here. The FDA, they authorized, I think we talked about this even at the end of the last one. They authorized the jab for kids 5 to 11.
You cannot be serious.
And so, charity is what? 13?
No,
15. Oh, dang.
I know, right?
That boy got a
word at the time.
Grown and grown. So, this hits more near to dear to me because.
Yeah, no, because you got
EJ.
Yeah, EJ, and then, but Toby ain't too far behind.
He ain't too far. He about to be 5 next year.
Yeah.
And so, when it comes to this stuff, y'all, I'm just gonna say what I feel like. I think is crazy. I think, especially this age group, you talk about 5 to 11, like what are their really percentage of, okay, even if they do get it, like the rate for them recovering is like phenomenal.
Yeah, much higher.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
And we got a high rate in our age.
Yeah, we do.
But it's way higher, for a child.
It's way higher for that. And so again, this is really about controlling and really about the money train. And I highly suggest y'all to like I said, do your own research. Look at all this stuff. Like, even from he said even from a logical, reasonable perspective, if you get both sides and kind of see it. Like, for me, this is just how I feel. Like, actually, it was your boy Skip Moore. Mm-hmm. And I think it was on his Facebook.
Shout out to Rated R.
Yeah, shout out to Rated R Clothing on that. But he put out something. This is a while ago because I think his son actually played for Raleigh Egypt football, and he maybe his son had an underlying condition or whatever it is. He had to get the jab, and Skip, as far as if I'm understanding it right, he didn't want to get it. He didn't see a reason to do it. But the only reason he got it was because his son got it. Because he was like, look, ain't nothing gonna be in my son that ain't gonna be in me. And that I'm just like, I was like, right on, like that's commendable. You know what I'm saying? Right, because it's like, look, that's my boy. So even though I'm against it. And he
made the decision based on his own personal situation.
Right.
Based on him having the information. And I'm pretty sure he thought about it and he prayed about it and he made that decision based on it.
Right. And so, and with me given this situation, I plan not to take it or to even take it. So I don't want my kids to partake in that either. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, given in the times and stuff we're doing, because what they want to do is add it to the schedule. You know what I'm saying? They add it to the kids' schedule. So there'll be more bank, you know what I mean, added to the other 10 to a dozen other shots that is, added to that. So it's to me, y'all, like I said, it's just time to wake up. I may actually even put some stuff below in the video, some articles for maybe you can actually look at some information and stuff for yourself. But this is it's crazy, right? Like some stuff I want to.
I know. And shout out to our guy, man, Mystery 84 at Mystery 84 on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? And this is the crazy thing. So how about they shut down his IG on the now they didn't shut down his personal one. They shut it down. They shut down the Sapiens one.
Okay. Was that the one he was putting the stuff on?
The financial one.
Was he?
And so because he was actually trying to deactivate his personal one. They wouldn't let him deactivate his personal one, but they deactivated his business one. But he was like, y'all don't see what this is. He's like, I keep posting this information and y'all don't see. And keep in mind, he's not on the level of a Riza Islam. He's not on the level of I don't know what, Dr. Umar is saying, but just people that we look at, the Stephen A's and these people of high status, he's like we are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We do this because we enjoy doing it. We have a good time doing it, but like at the end of the day, we some regular niggas at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to them. But we're on that same level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's like, they won't even let me deactivate my regular page. Like every time I try to do it, they send him a message. He can't. And he was like, so I'm just going to keep giving y'all this information, on my page. But he's somebody who's doing the same thing that we're doing. And shout out also to the Halfway Humble podcast with him and Jay Stamp.
Yes, sir.
Because they are doing the same thing that we're doing. And I mean, I just find it interesting, that people like ourselves who are challenging people to look at the whole picture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It, like if somebody looked at just, if we took a picture, a screenshot of this piece of this microphone and said, what is this? Like somebody might say, oh, that's a carpet, or oh, that's a piece of somebody's beard, or oh, that's, and people get to arguing of it because all they see is a little piece of it. But when you pan out and you see the whole picture, it's like, oh, wait, that's a microphone. And that's all we're saying. Look at the whole, with Biden and Fox News and CNN and these people. Okay, but let's look at doctors who have quit their jobs because they said, I'm not.
Yep.
Doctors, surgeons.
Yep.
Radiologists.
Scientists.
Cardiologists.
Biologists.
You know what I'm saying? Like people who have 10, 12, 15 years of college.
Yeah.
Just said, no, I'm straight.
Because this is not what they signed up for. This is not the integrity of their profession that they're not used to even happening. So that's good. That's good there, Rag. So this next one here, y'all, the waning immunity of the jab. Says study shows dramatic decline in effectiveness of the 3 jab vaccines over time. And so it says, I'll just read this first one. It says as the Delta variant became the dominant strain of the cookie pack across the United States. All three jabs available to Americans lost some of their protective power, with vaccine efficacy among a large group of veterans dropping between 35 and 85%. And so I bring this up just because of this is actually Yahoo News. So this is part of the machine here. And so this is my thought on this. I believe that they're putting this out, talking about the waning of the jab, so they can eventually go ahead and try to mandate you getting the booster too. So you're not going to be fully jabbed now unless you get quote unquote booster as well. You know what I'm saying? So
I give even deeper than that.
Okay.
It's not just that, but I also believe that. So like I don't know if you remember that, like cigarette ads and stuff. Well, they hadn't played those on TV in a long time.
Right.
Like how when certain products are being sold on TV, they have the real small print at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody tries to file a lawsuit or say, "Oh, you didn't give me," like, no, it was there. We put it on the screen, but it's quick though.
Yeah.
Or like when they have a new medicine that comes out. Oh, get Prezapro, get Executive Don, the new whatever. Take Executive Don if you got headaches, and then it's like side effects may include, and then it's like,
yeah.
It's like, oh, you know what? I got a headache. Let me get the Executive, and then it's like,
right.
But now I can't control when I use the bathroom. Oh, I'm gonna sue y'all. No, but at the end of the video, we had all these side effects.
Yeah.
So when people say, oh, you know what? I got cancer now because I was fine. And now me and all my kids got cancer. Oh, I was good. And now we all got brain tumors. Oh, now none of my kids are able to have kids. Everybody's sterile.
Message.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, well, you know, we had said, we put this Yahoo article out. That was up to you. You didn't have to get it.
Right.
You made a choice at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I put a post up on Facebook a few months ago where I said that, and I got it from somebody else, but it said our problem is that most of us sacrifice what we want the most for what we want right now.
Yeah.
And our problem is we're looking in the moment. We're looking here.
Right.
We're not looking down the road.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's a perfect point. Just because,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
In giving in the times that we're living in, like, it's easy to be like, oh, it's not that important. Just go ahead and, do it. But like you said, when you look at stuff in the beginning, like, you need people to stand up against what's going on now in order for us to, have the certain freedoms that, we should already have already. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if not, if people keep bowing down and stuff like that, it's gonna turn into a communist environment, a communist vibe. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good point. That's a good point on that. And so also connecting with that waning jab effectiveness, it's interesting, Rag. The CDC, they changed the definition of the jab. And so just pay attention to the screen, y'all. I'm gonna put the article up. This is not actually the video yet. Not yet. But the CDC, they changed the definition of the jab. And so I'm gonna read this first one now. They actually changed it September 1st. Okay. They changed it September 1st. Now, prior to September 1st, this is actually what it says. Now, when I said the jab, you see when I put it up here, it's actually the V word. And so the V word, this is what it says prior to September 1st. It says a product that stimulates a person's immune system to produce immunity to a specific disease, protecting the person from that disease. The jabs are usually administered through needle injections, but can also be administered by mouth or sprayed into the nose. And so the next one is the vaccine. It says, it says the V word, but the shun at the end of it. Okay. And it says the act of introducing a jab into the body to produce immunity to a specific disease. Now, this is what we know, what you've explained too on this pod before, of what we know the V or the jab should be. when it comes to that, what I'm saying, being the V word, what it should be if you're going to call it that. That's the standard now. But what happened after, September 1st and after, just see if you can check. I'm going to put it up so y'all can read it, but just check it out how they,
they have changed.
They manipulated to where
win the game, you change the rules.
Yep.
So that it fits what you're trying to do.
It fits the agenda. So this is what it says after September 1st. It says the jab says a preparation that is used to stimulate the body's immune response against diseases. The jabs are usually administered through needle injections, but some can be administered by mouth or sprayed into the nose. And so,
which prior to September the 1st, that wasn't
right. You see how they kind of smooth it in there. And so this next one says the act of introducing a jab into the body to produce protection from a specific disease. And if you see the one prior, it says immunity.
Right. So there's no longer immunity.
Right.
It's protection.
It's quote unquote protection. So y'all just look at this stuff. And some people may still just be like, oh well, it's different. But just look at that, y'all. This just peep game. Peep what's actually happening of, like you said, what Rag said, actually trying to change a definition as they see fit to fit what they want you to believe, what they want to say out there in the public, Joe Public, what they say. So, only
Joe Public I rock with is that group from the 90s.
Oh,
you got to live and learn. Oh yeah, that was their only hit.
That was the bump though.
That was the joint. That was the joint.
That was the bump. That was the bump. And so almost done with this, y'all. And so I just want to point out too, we ain't got to really get into it, but the NYC, New York City, said they were paid children $100 each to get the jab.
You cannot be serious.
$100 each to get the jab. And I'm gonna put the article. It's gonna be down there below the video. But y'all, come on, just
man, let's get to this good clip.
My goodness,
let's get to this good clip.
Let's get to this clip, y'all.
Just so they don't think we're making this stuff up.
Yeah. Now this is just to set it up here. So I got to scroll through my phone. I still don't have any neckies or anything in my phone. So I ain't got to worry about.
Gotta love the neckies.
The neckies. Going through here. So. This is actually the head of the CDC actually putting out the Senator Cassidy was asking her a question, basically asking, how many of her employees have been, jabbed, so to speak, since they're the ones kind of administering stuff and stuff like that, right? So y'all just look at this. Look at this.
I have limited time. Let me just ask you something else. What % of CDC employees are vaccinated?
We're actively encouraging vaccination in all of our employees and doing a lot of education and outreach in order to get our agency fully vaccinated.
But the percent?
I don't have that for you today.
I'm told that 75 to some north of 75% of CDC employees at headquarters are still working remotely. Is that correct?
We are following regulations through HHS and the federal government.
No, that's not my question. I apologize to be rude, but I'm asking a very straightforward question. I've been told that north of 75% of employees at CDC headquarters are working remotely. Is that correct?
Senator, I don't actually know the number off the top of my head.
When you look down the hallway, are there empty desks? Are over 50% of the desks empty?
Senator, I don't have the numbers off the top of my head. What I will tell you is that we're working closely within HHS and the administration to follow the governmental rules for return to
You cannot be serious.
I could say more, but
answer the question.
If that's not the runaround, I don't know what it is. You know what I mean?
And for those of you out here who watch us who are parents, imagine asking your child, did you skip class today?
Oh my God.
Well, I was in a lot of classes today, so I need you to be really specific. Did you skip any of your classes today? Well, it was a lot going on in school today, so it may have been your child finna catch a fade.
Because they're lying.
That's a yes or no question. Exactly.
And and the perfect example, I have a 6-year-old. EJ does this now. He steals stuff out the pantry, right?
Shout out to nephew.
He taking Oreos and stuff out the pantry. Like, EJ, did you take these cookies out the pantry? No, Tobias, he took it like he wanted that.
I know this be a lot of work editing for you, but I'm gonna need you to put a shot of Bill Duke up from Menace to Society. I bought the beer. I fucked up. You fucked up, don't you? Yeah. I just need the clip of him looking at Kane when that happened right there on the clip. I just need him. You know you fucked up. I need that because that's exactly what just happened.
That's exactly. You know how we caught him, right? I told him, open your mouth, EJ. Tongue all.
Oh yeah, with the residue.
With the residue, with the chocolate on his mouth and stuff like that. And then get with the kicker. He said, Toby fed it to me. Like,
still, at the end of the day, where did the cookies come from? Did you get the cookies out the pantry?
Oh boy.
Man.
It's crazy out here, y'all. So y'all just continue y'all to look at stuff like that. You know,
and this wasn't on Fox News or CNN.
No,
right?
They're
not going to show that.
Not at all, y'all. So, just ponder on that, y'all. So again, y'all,
let's get through some. Do we got time for a few quickies real quick?
I think we do. I just want to make sure we don't shut off.
Okay.
Let me see. We can maybe go through a few quickies real quick. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. So we got a couple of them now. I don't know if you heard about the Travis Scott concert drama.
They said they was sticking people in the neck with something.
Yeah.
Okay.
We gonna get into
Stay
that.
woke.
Yeah,
that's another episode. Yeah, we gonna say is stay woke.
We gonna get now. Have you you seen the Ye interview on the Drink Champs?
What was you talking about the part? Because the part they keep playing about Soulja Boy.
No. He was the one. You know, the one with Nori and DJ.
No. I'm saying they keep playing the part where they ask him like, "Did you take Soulja Boy off the album?" And he's like, "Did you hear that verse?"
Yeah, it's the whole joint is on Revo TV.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just for me, I know we think differently about Ye on that tip, but it's very interesting. I thought, for me personally, Ye, I saw the whole interview. He put in a lot of gems. Now, he did say some outlandish stuff, but Ye is...
Wouldn't be Ye if it wouldn't.
Ye is a genius to me, man. Like, I don't even say that. Like, I think he's ahead of the curve more than people think he's behind the curve. So, any quick thoughts on that?
I mean, I've never.
But we gotta get into
I've never questioned his genius. I just think that sometimes you can believe your own hype. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, he is. You know, I'm not doubting his creativity and how skilled he is at his craft. Yeah, you know, he's that. And a quick thing, like, we're not really Laker fans on here, but I watched the Lakers game the other day, and I just saw Westbrook. Like, he is the ATM of turnovers. Like, he is, to me, if he don't get his act together, the Lakers ain't even gonna get to the Western Conference Finals, let alone the NBA Finals. You know what I mean? It's almost like, but to me, history repeating itself. And it's an old quote that says, "He who does not learn from his past or his history is doomed to repeat it." Like, what happened when they had Kobe, Shaq, Karl Malone, Gary Payton? You still had like Rick Fox on the. You had all these egos and people you got to feed, and I think Glenn Rice might have been on the bench. Like, you had a whole lot of guys that used to be the guy,
right?
And you don't have people that's willing to defer to other guys. Yeah, and you know they got smashed in the finals 4-1, a gentleman's sweep.
And honestly, before this even happened, when Westbrook and all them Melo and stuff came, that's what I thought about that 2004 Lakers team, to where it was just like, maybe overkill. You know what I mean? So the next one here, actually, is a little shout out, man. We both are Memphis State history buffs. Larry Finch statue was unveiled, I believe, last week. Larry Finch Plaza. I think you have a closer connection, I think, because your pop. All that stuff like that.
I coached in high school,
and I went to the Larry Finch basketball camp in '91 and '92.
Yeah,
real good guy, man. And so that's long overdue.
South of the earth.
Yep,
Memphis' finest.
Yeah, Memphis' finest on that. And so, and this next one here actually can be a whole nother topic, really a whole nother episode.
We're gonna have to definitely.
Yeah, we'll drive into that. But your girl Jada, talks about Will again and kind of just put their private.
I blame Will.
I do too. So we gonna get into that probably a little later. in some further episode or something having to deal with those kind of principles or perspectives.
So what do you think? And I know this wasn't in one of the topics, but we in the good old Rick Quickie moment. Oh yeah. Y'all know my boy gonna be on the screen.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about the Phoenix Suns situation? Because have you heard they said so all the allegations, but Monty Williams, Chris Paul, Devin Booker have basically said, let's see what the investigation says.
Yeah.
Because that's not my experience.
Yeah.
And even Monty Williams, who's the head coach, says the reason that I came to Phoenix is because of the ownership and the culture. So on the one hand, you have people saying like, and I'm not going to say he hadn't done or said some of the things, but I just believe that the society and the environment that we live in now, that anything that people want to make an issue about, they can.
Right. I agree with that. Like,
you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying he didn't say anything.
Right. From the limited information that I saw, it just looked like they're trying to stir the pot up to kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of try to, you know, say something or expose. Like, to me, when you get to that higher status, like, has he probably said the N-word? Has he probably said nigga or something, you know, in text or emails?
White person has
You know what I'm saying? Right.
Like, really? Yeah. Like, really?
Right.
Like, I just honestly believe it's some that even if they don't say it, like, because I know some who have said, like, to other white people, you can't say nigger.
Right.
Okay, well, you just said it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That it might not have been in the context of being demeaning, but you've said it.
Said it, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. So it's like,
come on, man. Like let's not. And in the context of the way it was framed with the Earl Watson situation, it was like what he said to the referee was, how come this player can say nigger and this person can't?
Yeah.
And he was not wanting his guy to get a penalty for it.
Right.
Because I think the guy that played for the Suns had said it to another player that got a tick.
Yeah.
And he was like, how come he's getting the tick for saying nigger and this person ain't? Right. And then Earl Watson was like, hey, you can't say that. And he's like, it wasn't like, oh, nigga. It wasn't like that. It was like, no, I'm just saying. And in context, if I was in a room and a white person, we're on a panel or something, and a white guy is saying it's not cool for white people to say the word nigger, I'm not finna punch him in the face. I understand context.
Right.
But now if he's doing it, how would you feel if I said nigger, Roche? Would you get mad if I said nigga? Like, okay, now I know you're playing with me. Then you would get punched in the face. That's just what it is.
Right.
But at the same time, I understand context.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I know people might get mad, but like, I can't just run around and say the word faggot. That would be.
Oh yeah.
But in context, I'm not calling anybody, but I understand how that can be offensive to certain people, and that's a hot button word.
Yeah, it's a hot button word, especially today.
But because I understand context, and of course I know some people might, you know, take this, like they're not even going to play the whole clip. They're just going to have me saying, oh, he said faggot, and it's like, oh, they're not going to play any of the context.
Right.
They're not going to play the whole clip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't sell.
But exactly. Yeah. But I understand that context is everything. And so I'm not saying that he's 100% innocent.
Yeah.
But just like I was with OJ and Bill Cosby. OJ. And this is and you like, hey, again, this is a white dude. Like, I ain't got no investment stake in the Phoenix Suns. I'm a Bulls fan.
Right.
But I just believe that let's get the information.
Right.
Like we talked about with Gruden. Let's get the information. Let's see what's what. What they say, let's throw it on the wall and see what sticks.
See what sticks, yeah. See, and that's the vibe. That's the vibe I'm on. So until we get more information, but y'all, we gonna get into some of these quickies though, especially this Travis Scott thing, this Ye thing, even this Jada Pickett stuff.
Yeah. Oh no, those are gonna be episodes. We might have to have, man. We gonna have to have when the equipment come in. We're gonna have to have hit the light in here on that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Man, we got. I don't know if he can get out the house. We might have to get in.
Yeah, let him out, Miss Sam Regina.
Yeah.
Don't let him out. Let him out.
We're gonna have to get what's my guy? We're gonna have to get Iceman on here. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get Titan on here, MK on here.
Yeah. Shout out to Titan because he got an album coming out soon. And so we already talked about gonna have him on here to chop it up with him and do a little interview and stuff with him. So y'all, until next time, y'all continue with that executive mindset.
And most definitely keep it presidential.
Salute.
Arrivederci. Out.